You pay those prices and those costs long before you achieve your results. If someone had told me before I got into this, all of the things that would happen and said, do you want to still keep going? I probably would have said no. If you don't realize that there's so many things you don't know, you'll get so caught up in the bravado of being the CEO or being the leader or being the right person that for the job, whatever it is your vision of that is, you'll get smoked because there's always someone that can come along and kick your ass. I can tell you, hands down, a great entrepreneur is only as good as the leaders they have around them, and they can only go as high as they can. And one more thing, actually. Once you get good at all these things, right before you're about to get there usually, welcome everybody to the Mobilization Mindset Podcast. My name is Scott Peper. I'm the CEO and founder of Mobilization Funding, and today we're going to talk about just that, your mindset. Specifically, as an entrepreneur or a leader of any kind of business or team, what I'm about to tell you is just some hard truths of what I've learned over the last 13 years. And candidly, what I've learned really in the last 30. A lot from corporate America, but I really honed it home when it got into the mobilization funding journey along the way. Out of this video, what I hope you attain is not something to scare you or not something to look forward to, but just some realities of what will happen. And when it happens, know that you're probably on the right path. If you have these certain feelings, you're probably on the right path. And if you want to be a leader in an organization, you're already part of a successful team, or you're thinking about leaving that team and going out on your own, or you're thinking about getting into that leadership position on this team, you should know these things, because whether you stay on a team as a high-level leader or whether you are the entrepreneur and start the journey yourself, or if you're just trying to take some of these principles and go back to your own family, they all will apply. I said in a team meeting where we were talking about our visions and goals and what you want, that the journey of mobilization funding has taken a part of my soul. It was interesting because when I said it, it got me fairly emotional at the time, but it was a reality. And the truth is, it's not so much something you plan for, it just happens. And what I meant and what I wanted everyone to understand was, it's not a bad thing, it's just a cost. And everything has a cost no matter what you do. Where you put your attention, where you put your energy, how much you want to focus on something, how much you really want to achieve it is going to have a cost. What you give up, what are you willing to sacrifice? What can't you do? It's not what do you get to do, it's what don't you get to do. And what are you trading that time for to get over that hurdle? And depending on how big your goals are or how high your goals are, those costs have different measures. Now, we all heard stories where people start a little faster. People might start, if it's a baseball analogy, they might start on third base. Some people start in the street. Doesn't matter. It's the journey you're going to climb. Wherever you're starting from, there's still a cost. And what I wanted to articulate to my team, but also to you here in this video, is you have to really have a real conversation with yourself, because if you don't, those costs, when you pay them before you ever achieve the results, long before, that's the number one thing you need to understand. You pay those prices and those costs long before you achieve your results. You have to continue to persevere through them. You have to continue to push past them. You have to continue to know that no matter what happens, that hard aspect of whatever you're trying to accomplish is going to live with you for a longer period of time than you definitely think, and for sure more than you want, before you get there. And yeah, we all see the people out there that are where we want to be now. They've all done the same journey. They've all accomplished hard things and persevered to get there. My point in telling you this is not to scare you. It's because it's not for everybody. And I told my wife recently that I'll probably spend the majority of time, whatever I do after mobilization funding, telling people why they probably should not get into entrepreneurship, because of exactly what I'm talking about right now. And if someone had told me before I got into this all of the things that would happen and said, do you want to still keep going? I probably would have said no, especially considering the other options I had. But the truth is, I'm very grateful for the journey. I'm happy for the journey. It was just as hard, frankly, in many ways in corporate America, because it's just different things you got to deal with. There's different aspects of hard that you have to accomplish. It's hard to grow a business by tens of millions of dollars and get paid hardly anything for it. That's hard to deal with. It's hard to grow a business and want to grow a business tens of millions of dollars and not earn anything because it all needs to stay in the business. There's lots of things that happen in both aspects, and just keeping your eyes wide open to that. Let's talk about balance for a brief moment. There's a lot of conversation around balance, what you can do on a daily basis, a weekly basis, family time, business time, how you balance your day. There's not much balance in a journey along leadership, and there's not much balance in entrepreneurship for sure, especially along the journey. Now, in the short term, it's very unbalanced. Long term, like depending on what time frame you look at, are we looking at years? Are we looking at your entire life? Are we looking at a decade? If you start looking at a decade or more, you probably will find some balance, but there's going to be a series of sprints in there of different hard periods coupled with good periods, getting your face kicked in, getting back up and learning. What I want you to take from this is there's a few requirements that are important if you're going to take this journey. And if you're willing to do these things for a long period of time, you probably have a decent shot at being successful in what you accomplish. Number one, you have got to continue learning. It's such a critical requirement. Things change rapidly. If you are not spending consistent time learning each and every day, whether it's reading books, finding podcasts, or a blend of the two, or a mentor or a coach that has done what you've done before or has done what you want to do and they've done it before, that's a really key thing. The wrong coach will set you back farther than the right coach can bring you ahead. The second thing is you have to be humble. If you don't realize that there's so many things you don't know, you'll get so caught up in the bravado of being the CEO or being the leader or being the right person that for the job, whatever it is your vision of that is, you'll get smoked because there's always someone that can come along and kick your ass. There's always someone that will come along and make it hard. Just when you think you got it all figured out, you'll have to learn the lesson the hard way. So stay humble by continuing to learn. You're going to have to be ready for someone to steal from you, for people to quit on you, for people to show you encouragement but not mean it, for people to want to take. Give, yes, but more people will want to take from you along your path than give to you, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. You have to be prepared to discern and make decisions on who you want to trust and challenge those decisions that you make along the way. Trusting, you can't trust no one. You can trust and verify, but you have to find the right people that you can trust. Trust the information from. Trust that they can get something done. You can't do it all by yourself. So you have to find people you can trust. That's a requirement. And last, when you get good at all these things, you have to know that as the business grows, you're going to need new things, new people, new talents that you don't have. You're going to have to hire folks. You're going to have to eat last. You're going to have to take that money and invest it in another person. And it's typically going to be someone that commands an even higher salary because as you grow and the more successful you are, the more talent you need around you. That talent comes at a higher price. You can't cheap and chintz your way there. These are all things that I've learned through the process that I'm sharing with you. This is not me telling you that I figured all this stuff out. This is the hard part is I'm figuring it out and have figured some things out. I tell you all this because we work with a lot of businesses at Mobilization Funding, and I see all aspects of the entrepreneur journey and the leadership journey because we talk to mostly the leaders or the entrepreneurs inside businesses. Those are the folks who are making decisions on whether they want to borrow money and how they're going to execute work and grow their businesses. So the experience in that and what I'm gathering from you today are some of the things I've made mistakes on myself and some of the things I've seen great entrepreneurs with great businesses hurt themselves or ruin their businesses after they made it through really the hardest parts, the first 2, 3, 4 years, getting to profitability, getting to a part where you can grow, and all of a sudden they're there, and all they have to do is just humble themselves a little bit, take some guidance, readjust who you're going to trust, readjust the next level of coaching, and they fail to make those decisions, and they lose what they got. And one more thing, actually. Once you get good at all these things, right before you're about to get there usually, that's when the devil comes for you. That guy, whether you believe in Christ, whatever you believe, you can call it whatever you want. But that last test, when they come for you and they're crafty and they are good, I mean, he's good. When he comes, be careful, because that's when you know you're really close to success. That's when you know what you're doing for yourself, for your team, for your community, for the good of whatever you believe. That's when you know you're getting close, because they're going to try to bring you down. He will try to bring you down. You got to be careful for them. And they're not going to be as obvious as everything else I just talked about. I hope this video helps. I hope it gives you some guidance. I hope it gives you encouragement. I would tell you to just think about these things and be ready for them. You can do it. You can prepare for it. Read, guide yourself, find those folks, trust in who you can find. There's more and better information now to be successful in this journey out today for free in so many great places. But just be prepared. And you should, and you can do it. And it's okay not to be the entrepreneur. You can be a great leader inside an organization. I can tell you, hands down, a great entrepreneur is only as good as the leaders they have around them, and they can only go as high as they can. So it is a phenomenal role to play in any business. You can earn a lot of money, but you don't have to take the risk. And you can definitely join the ride at the time where you need it most, which is also just as fun. So have a great week, and may God bless you.